Monument Valley is a region of the Colorado Plateau, characterized by a cluster of vast sandstone buttes, the largest reaching 1,000 feet, about 300 meters, above the valley floor. It's located on the Arizona-Utah border, and the valley lies within the range of the Navajo Nation reservation. If you've ever watched a Western movie directed by the much celebrated director John Ford, then the chances are you will have seen Monument Valley. It was John Ford's favourite place to shoot. One of his favourite actors was, of course, John Wayne. Two fine examples of the films they made together are The Searchers, a film about the search for a woman abducted by Indians, and She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, a tribute to the American cavalry. Many of these westerns depicted the Native Americans as warlike and aggressively violent. Native American peoples these days are very peaceable, but with very little other option have turned to gambling casinos to make their money. The Navajo Nation, who live in Monument Valley, have chosen instead to make tourism their means of income. Who can blame them with this kind of scenery on their doorstep? Natural forces of wind and water have, over the past 50 million years, eroded, peeled away and cut into the original plateau, which was once the height of the top of the buttes. As you travel around the valley, you wonder just where all that rock and sand material can have gone. Our guide and driver for the day, a very pregnant Navajo lady, so pregnant that we worried she might give birth whilst driving over the very bumpy tracks, drives us deep into the valley, where we get a great view of how high the buttes really are. We are taken to a traditional Navajo dwelling called a hogan. This one, we are told, is a female hogan because it is where the family is nurtured.
Okay, we had to call this hogan a female hogan, and made out of juniper tree logs. Collect about 500 or more to build this hogan, and sometimes they would put in a pinyon tree, some log in there, and sometimes they would put in a pine. And we have a saying that it has to have a 9 leg posts, and then there's the beam, and they go all the way around center to center. And then what they clean off the bark of the tree, the logs, then they use it for insulations. Then they would come a little thicker dirt ground up to the top, a thin layer up to the top.
This smaller version is the male hogan, or the hunting hogan. We are driven further into the valley, past lakes of water, evidence of recent rainfall, and eventually reach a cave. On the cave roof is an image carved by water, which looks very much like an Indian head. Here we are entertained with Navajo songs. How authentic they were, we were not sure, and we were encouraged to buy souvenir trinkets. As dusk begins to fall, we are driven back to the visitors centre, and we see again the rock where John Ford most liked to sight his camera. Although I really enjoyed meeting the native Navajo people, the final memory I'm left with is the iconic image of John Wayne riding over this wonderful big country.